Hello everyone, good morning. Today is 3rd of June and I welcome you all to the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. So guys, in the today's video, we are going to discuss the entire analysis of the Hindu newspaper, all the articles along with the background and way forward we are going to take up. And you can also download the explainer notes of this session from our Telegram group. The link for the Telegram group has been given in the description box. Now, uh, first of all guys, let's see the overview of entire newspaper so that we can understand that which articles are actually important for the exam in the today's newspaper. So first article guys, we see that there is a misfortunate incident that has happened. Basically a train has run in an accident in the Odisha. Okay, moving on guys, however as of now basically all the casualties and all such kind of things are being taken care of. Fine. However, for the exam point of view, you are not required to go in that particular article. So a very misfortunate incident. Then further moving on, begin talks with wrestlers or face agitation from June 9 Khap leaders. Okay, again not important article for the exam point of view. Then guys, further moving on, in the city section we have the regional political issues etc, not important for the examination again. And if you are having some different edition of the newspaper, for example Bengaluru edition, Chennai edition, Hyderabad edition or any such other, this regional section will be containing the different articles, but usually they are not that much relevant for the examination. Fine. So moving on guys, here we further have the advertisements and all such kind of things and regional articles. So directly we will be moving on and we'll directly reach to the editorial section. Okay, now coming to the editorial section, the critical juncture in Manipur. So this particular article talks about the clashes that are going on in Manipur and the demands for a separate administration that has come. We'll take this particular article. Then good and bad, the article talks about benefits of AI, but at same time there are concerns of AI also that should be taken care of. We'll take that article. Then here we have international trade has a carbon price. We'll take this article talking about the carbon adjustment border mechanism. Then on side we have article which talks about GST collection. So GST collection has grown 11.5%, around 11.57 lakh crore rupees in May, but you are not required to go and track month by month GST collections data etc. For examination, these you are not required to remember these particular datas and numbers. However, as a state of economy, we can see that as GST revenue collections are increasing, we are towards a positive growth. Okay. Then further coming on, as vigilante groups thrive, couple try to survive. Okay, so basically article is talking about the vigilante groups who many times on the name of religion, okay, had carried their vigilantism and all such kind of things are being provided. Okay, so basically guys, here the activities, okay, and the examples of these groups are being taken up. Fine. Moving on, much relevant substance are not there here. So moving on to the next, and today we don't today is a Saturday, so we don't have text and context page, which was actually the equivalent of Indian Express explained page. It usually contains very good articles, but that page is not published on Saturday, so we don't have it today. Then further moving on, day after Shah's appeal, more than 140 weapons surrendered in Manipur. So basically recently, Mr. Amit Shah has appealed that the violence insurgency should be stopped immediately in Manipur and the weapons should be surrendered. So that has happened. However, in this Manipur direction, there is already one article on editorial. We will be taking it up. Government wants to make sedition law more draconian. Congress. So guys, if you remember, yesterday we have seen that Law Commission have submitted a report with respect to the sedition, article 124, section 124A of IPC. Sedition provides that it is an offense to create disaffection against the India or government. Fine. So that provision has been used or abused many number of times against the opposition or political dissidents. But Law Commission had said that we should retain that particular law. So Congress says that it will be misused, abused, and all such kind of things. Largely a political commentary have been given here. Then again, the political statements and all such kind of things are there. No need to go too much in detail here. Okay. Then guys, further moving on this particular direction. Fine. We come to this page. MEA requests China to facilitate presence of Indian journalist. Fine. Briefly, we'll take this particular article, and we have even seen it yesterday that what issue was going on here. Then OTT players seek satellite bandwidth for better streaming. Okay, we'll take it up. Then guys, here new guidelines for deemed universities. Again, we'll take it this article for the examination. Then coming to world page. So in world page, we have largely the evolutionary things that are going on. No Ukraine truce without Russian pullback, Lincoln. So the commentary on Russia-Ukraine war or some development or what, where the attack and all such kind of things have been made. These things usually come every day. You are not required to go track day-to-day development here. Okay. US awards first ever default with 11th hour debt deal. Okay, guys, we have discussed this particular issue also many number of times. Now, not a very big issue. Basically, guys, what is the case? So USA, now every country has a particular budget. Okay, they estimate that this much rupees or this much receipts will be coming, and then there is the expenditure. Okay, for example, 100 rupees will be received through taxes and through other resources, and let's say X rupees we will be spending. In the countries which have welfareist which have welfareist goals, usually there is a deficit. In India also, every year there is a deficit. USA also runs in a deficit. So whenever there will be a deficit, how you will be paying back? You have to borrow the money from market. Now in US, there is a debt ceiling that is there. There is a debt ceiling that is there, beyond which the USA cannot borrow. Now that particular debt ceiling is about to be breached. So the debt ceiling was to be revised in the USA. So for that particular thing, Republicans were not allowing that. Basically, there were certain differences that were there, but now the limit has been increased. Fine. So this is something that has come here. Fine. Moving on, guys, in this particular direction further. Business page, IRDA, ICE insurance push. Will take this particular article. Then here we have largely the basically the corporate trends and all such kind of things, not very much important for the examination. RBI issues a draft on cyber safety for PSOs. Okay, PSOs stand for the payment system operators. Okay, so payment system operators, in that payment system gateways, etc., MasterCard, Visa will come. So cyber attacks, compromises on the data security, some concerns are there. So for that thing, RBI has issued the has issued the norms here. Okay, but no need to go too much in detail in that particular thing, because those are technical norms that have been given. Okay, and then, guys, we have the after that we have this sports page. Okay, and we don't have the science page also in the last, which usually comes, which we have seen also in the previous days. Now that is all about it, and let's take one by one discussion of all the relevant articles now. Okay, and this is the GS synoptic notes of this session that you can download from our session. Now in every class we take a GS quote, which can be used to complement our answers in GS 1, 2, 3 and 4. So today we'll be taking the quotation from Brian Tracy. Okay, a renowned author. He says, courage combined with integrity is the foundation of character. Courage combined with integrity is the foundation of character. Now, guys, often when we talk about the courage, we find a lot of courage even in the people who have wicked personalities. For example, you take the example of Hitler. Okay, you take the example of Hitler, you take the example of Mussolini, you take the example of many of the dictators. They also had a courage, but they did not had the integrity of the character. What do we mean by the integrity of the character? Number one, integrity means to have the to have the uprightness towards the moral ideals, to have the most upright moral values, and at the same time, what you think, what you speak, and what you do should be aligned. So a complete coherence in your character, in your speech, in your action, and to have the moral uprightness towards the highest moral values, that is the integrity. Okay, so courage combined with integrity is the foundation of character. Now when we take the example of people such as Desmond Tutu, Mahatma Gandhi ji, Nelson Mandela. These were the people who had courage to challenge the oppressive forces of that particular time, and at the same time, because there was integrity, they were able to choose what they need to fight for. Okay, and that integrity, that courage was the foundation of the character of these great men. So this idea we can use in GS paper number 4, ethics. You can use it in essay also. Okay, so ethics and essay. Now moving on, and let's take the first article for today. So here, guys, the first article that we are going to take is this: good and bad. India needs to harness the benefits of AI while avoiding the adverse effects. Okay. So basically, guys, we have seen that in past few months, artificial intelligence has made a lot of breakthrough. And we see that a particular type of artificial intelligence, that is generative artificial intelligence has become very much important. Now, what is this generative AI? Generative artificial intelligence are those platforms which can generate naturally looking text. They can generate naturally looking images. So, images, text, videos can be generated by the artificial intelligence tools. And a very popular artificial intelligence tool that you all might be knowing is Chat GPT. Chat GPT. So, what is a Chat GPT? Chat GPT is a AI text generative tool on which, for example, you can give any prompt, you can give any command. For example, write an essay on capitalism. It will generate an essay on capitalism. You want to write a 500-word essay on capitalism, it will generate the 500-word essay on capitalism, and the text will look very natural. It will look that it has been produced by a human. So guys, always your teacher also might be saying you that please don't write in bookish language. So what is a bookish language? It is a very technical jargon ridden language, and then there is a natural way of presentation as we humans do. So the Chat GPT's generation of text is very human like. Okay, now actually these particular things have opened up many new possibilities, but at the same time guys, there are the challenges that are also coming by these generative artificial intelligence tools. For example guys, understand this thing that as we talk about this artificial intelligence tools, number one, they have been backed by the neural networks which have been trained on large data set. What is a neural network? First of all guys, understand this particular thing simply. Neural network is nothing but a computer program that have been trained in such a way that it mimics the brain. Now basically guys, when we talk about the human brain, now when we talk about the human brain, so in human brain there are the neurons, neural connections, billions and trillions of neural connections are there. And let's understand that how human brain works in the most simple terms. For example guys, I have the information of color. For example, why for example, pink is a color. Pink is a color. Okay, pink is a color, green is a color, blue is a color. I have the information of the colors. Then I have the information on the different type of animals that are there. There is a donkey, there is monkey, there is a lion, there is elephant. Okay, I have information about animals, I have information about colors. What I do, I combine these two information and come out with an idea that what about a pink elephant? What about a pink elephant? Now, I know that it looks absurd, but what I have tried to demonstrate? I have tried to demonstrate that two different pieces of information can be connected together by our brain. That is the capability of our brain. So our brain's intelligence is something which has never, our brain's intelligence is something which is marvelous. Why? Because brain can connect the 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of information, and by those 3, 4, 5 pieces of information it can give you something entirely new. Clear? So basically now what the neural networks are, so basically when we talk about the artificial intelligence is trying to mimic this particular neural network structure. What it tries to do, it tries to take the different piece of information, can combine it, and will be able to give you a result. Okay, so for example, when I gave the instruction to ChatGPT to write an essay on capitalism, what it is doing, from the different pieces, from somewhere it is picking up the definition of capitalism, from somewhere it is picking the impact of capitalism on society, somewhere it is picking up the impact of capitalism on economy, combining all these different pieces of information together and giving you one coherent essay. Okay, so basically what has happened for this particular thing, the artificial intelligence platforms such as Chat GPT, these tools have been trained over a large data set for a for a considerable period of time. But basically guys, we are finding that in these art now, because of this particular thing, we are able to find new antibiotics, new alloys, and many such kind of things have become easy. So where a lot of data is to be screened, fine, there the artificial intelligence can do work in matter of minutes. But we also find this particular thing that there are certain flaws in artificial intelligence. That what is happening now, the Chat GPT, they are also falsifying the data. They are giving you the wrong data, they are giving you the wrong information. Now sometimes this wrong information, factual incorrect information is being given because of the design flaws that are there in the AI. But secondly, what is happening, deliberately some of the users are deliberately some of the bad faith actors, what they are doing, they are trying to ensure that that chat gpt ais, how they could be manipulated, that they give wrong information. Fine. So some bad faith actors are trying to deliberately manipulate AI so that they give the false information. And what will happen by this? We will enter in a world where we will not be able to differentiate that what is right information, what is false information, what is fake, what is real. And that is something which we don't expect. That is something which we don't want. So in this particular direction, guys, what has happened? We need to take immediate steps. We need to take immediate measures. Recently, what has happened? Basically the group of AI pioneers who were involved into the development of the AI tools, they have issued a statement, and the statement is very powerful one. What statement they have issued? They have issued the statement, mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority along with other societal scale risks such as pandemic and nuclear war. Okay, so basically, if this infodemic, okay, if false information, right information is being presented together, and AI is also presenting the false information we cannot differentiate, then it will bring a very catastrophic future. It will bring a lot of disasters. And to discuss that should be immediate priority. Right now, governments are discussing on the pandemic, nuclear war, societal challenges. But apart from that, the basically how negatively the AI is being manipulated to present the false data, that challenge is also to be taken up. Okay, so this is something that has been is happening. We need to focus on that how AI's internal workings are. AI's internal workings should not be such that it is using the copyrighted data. It is not taking basically it is not having any concern for the human dignity, privacy. Okay, many number of times stereotypes, prejudices, biases that are there in the society, they have been replicated by the AI also. Okay, so such kind of a things should not be there. Okay, so this is something now though. So therefore the world countries need the policies to ensure that AI is being used in a productive way only. And in this in this context, when we talk about, guys, India, when we talk about India, Indian government should also proactively launch the policies which ensure that AI is being tamed and is being regulated within the time frame. So therefore government needs to come out with the open source AI risk profile. Open source AI risk profile, basically, guys, open source is any code which is present to the public in the open domain. So open source AI risk profile. So how the AI's challenge could be there, what are the flaws, what are the bugs in the AI's design, they should be presented to the public in the open. Then there needs to be need of a sandboxed R&D. So understand this particular thing, guys, that suppose I am testing a computer program. There is a possibility that the computer program will work fine, very good, but there is also a possibility that computer program might have certain bugs, and because of that, that computer program might negatively impact this particular computer system, and that computer program might impact negatively to the other computer systems also which are connected with that. Now what is the sandboxed R&D? Sandboxed R&D is to test a program in a controlled environment so that it doesn't spreads to the other parts. It doesn't spread to the other parts. It doesn't spread to the other parts of this computer or the other computers in a particular system. Then secondly, high risk AI models. Such artificial intelligence model which might derail a lot of things. Okay, such kind of models needs to be seen in a very careful manner, and we need to keep a watchful eye. We need to come out with a policy in the time frame. Right now, inaction is not an option, because inaction will bring a lot of doom. It will bring a lot of chaos. Fine. So this is something about it. And guys, there is a very great possibility that on AI in GS paper number 3, science and technology, there might be a question on this particular direction. So this particular question, this particular article will be highly relevant for our GS paper number 3. Now, moving on in this particular direction, next article, IRDA, Eyes Insurance Push in Rural Areas with Bima Vahak. Again, we'll see this particular article with respect to GS paper number 3. Indian economy, within Indian economy, insurance sector reforms. Okay. Now, Before going in this particular article, first of all guys, you need to know some of the background information, and if you are following the newspaper analysis regularly, we have taken a very exhaustive and a kind of a comprehensive coverage on this insurance sector reform that have recently been proposed by the IRDA. First of all, guys, let me give you some of the basic information, background information, so that you can revise it, and then we'll go in this particular article. So basically what has happened, just last week, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India has come out with a blueprint. It has come out with a blueprint to ensure insurance for all by 2047. To ensure the insurance for all by 2047. Right now, when we talk about the penetration of insurance, it stands at around 4%. Okay, not even 4%, around 4% is the insurance penetration right now, according to IRDA, and we want to ensure universal insurance penetration by 2047. So therefore, they have suggested certain changes are needed to be brought in the insurance sector. They have largely proposed the three pillar reforms. They have proposed the three pillar reforms. Pillar number one, pillar number one will be Bima Vistar, Bima Vistar. Now, what is this Bima Vistar? Guys, Bima Vistar means a new comprehensive insurance which will take care of all your needs. Right now, if I have a car, I need to have a separate insurance for my car. If there is a separate insurance for car, there is a separate insurance for health cover, there is a separate insurance for life cover, there is a separate insurance for some other property that if a person is having. So many of the insurances are to be taken up, and most of the time a person what might do, might take one insurance but not the other, might take a car insurance but might not take a life insurance. Now the Bima Vistar will be a single insurance product which will provide insurance against all these things: life cover, health, accidental damage, damage of property. So there will be the single insurance product that will be brought, Bima Vistar. Then the second pillar here is the Bima Sugam. Bima Sugam. Now what is Bima Sugam? Bima Sugam is a platform. Bima Sugam will be a common platform where all the insurers, settlers will be there, where the people who have taken the insurance, they can go and they can raise the request for the claim settlement. Okay, for example, a person has taken the life insurance, and if a person has died, then that claim request is to be raised. Now different insurance companies are there. Some they have their own toll free numbers, they have their own website, they have their own portals, etc. So that particular thing will be removed, and there will be a common platform, that is the Bima Sugam, where people can go, can raise their request, and within the period of 6 to 8 months, 6 to 8 hours, that claim settlement will be made. For example, if a person has died, so most of the states today, they have digitized the death certificate, birth certificate. So death certificate in a digital manner can be pulled from the state records, and the claim money will be given to the deceased family within 6 or 8 hours, or maximum the next day. So to facilitate or to simplify the insurance claim process, this Bima Sugam platform, a common platform, is being promoted. Then the third pillar that comes here is Bima Vahak. Bima Vahak. Now what is Bima Vahak? So Bima Vahak are, guys, there these will be the group of women which will be mobilized at the level of villages. They will go to the different households, will meet the women who are the head of the household, and will nudge them, will inform them that how insurance is a very important product, why everyone needs to have an insurance, how insurance is not just an economic product but a social product. They will educate them, they will give them awareness. Okay, and after that, apart from these Bima Vahak, Bima Sugam, Bima Vistar, there will also be the state level, district level committees, block level committees that will promote the insurance awareness at the block level, state level, district level. All such kind of things will be there. Now all this particular information, guys, have been provided here in this particular pictographic also. So when you will download this synoptic notes, you can read it. For example, a bundled insurance product, Bima Vistar. Okay, all these things are there. Now moving on, why this thing has come again into the newspaper. So now IRDA has issued the norms with respect to appointment of the Bima Vahak. Who were the Bima Vahak? Bima Vahak were women who will who will aware, who will go and who will educate the other women with respect to the importance of insurance. So for the Bima Vahak's appointment, the norms have been issued by the IRDA, that is Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. What they have said, that basically it will be the responsibility, basically it has been said that insurers, okay, will will remain responsible for ensuring the KYC, know your customer compliances with respect to the policies sourced through the Bima Vahaks. So for the appointment of Bima Vahak, for their salaries, for their terms of job, fine, whether it will be contractual, all such kind of things, such norms have been issued by the IRDAI. Okay, so this is something that has happened, and IRDA says that Bima Vahak will be the most important pillar because they can engage with the Gram Panchayat. Okay, and basically Bima Vahak can also give a crucial information about the people who are seeking insurance, so that the insurance companies can know the need of the people and can design good products fine for them. So this is all about this, what has happened. Now nothing much here is there in today because they have just issued the norms. And but you should know what is Bima Vahak, what is Bima Vistar, what is Bima Sugam. If you know this thing, then this is just a 2-line article for you because they have just come out with the norms. That's it. So guys, understand this thing. Over a period of time, when you are reading the newspaper regularly, what will happen? You will know a lot of information about the background of a lot of things. So therefore, reading newspaper for you will not take a lot of time over a period of time if you are doing it regularly. Fine. So I hope guys that you have understood it. And now moving to the next article. Moving to the next article. Mo Moving to the next article now. Okay. So here guys, we have this particular article. New guidelines for deemed universities are light but tight, says UGC chairman. Okay. So let's understand this particular article. This particular article will take up with respect to GS paper number 2, issues related to education. GS paper number 2, issues related to education. So basically guys, UGC stands for University Grants Commission. UGC stands for University Grants Commission. And it has come out with the new guidelines for the deemed universities. Now, let's understand that what is the concept of this deemed university. First, we will take the background and then we'll go in this particular article. So, basically, understand this particular thing. Educational institutions for a very long period of time, they have demanded one thing, that is autonomy. They have demanded autonomy. Now, if I tell you guys right now, there are so much of compliances that a higher educational institution has to follow particularly. For example, suppose there is a higher educational institution. Okay. Now this institution will be affiliated to a university. University will impose a lot of compliances on this higher educational institution. For example, their course, their curriculum, their pedagogy, all those, the exam pattern, the timing of the exam, all the things will be dictated by the university on this higher educational institution. Then guys, there is UGC, University Grants Commission, then there is Ministry of Education, then there are the technical bodies, for example AICTE. All of them have to follow, all of them will issue the guidelines for a higher educational institution and they have to follow. Now when so much of the compliances are being imposed, what happened? A higher educational institution is not able to innovate. It is not able to innovate. Many number of times they are not able to decide the curriculum as per the needs of the present time and all such kind of things. So in order to, so therefore the higher educational institutions needed autonomy, that give us the power that we should be able to decide the curriculum, we should be able to decide the syllabus, we should be able to decide our own pedagogy, exam, all such kind of things. So there was such demand. In this particular respect guys, there is deemed university concept that has come. Deemed university concept that has come. What is deemed university? Deemed university is a recognition that can be given to the higher educational institution that you yourself are a type of university, deemed to university. it means then that they need not to follow the compliances from such some other university. They themselves have been given a status of a university. They themselves can design their curriculum, course and all such kind of a thing. So if we see, if we go here in this box, I have given you what is the meaning of the deemed university. So a deemed to be university, it is a classification that is given to the higher educational institutions in India, and it signifies that the institutions have been recognized as university, and by that they get a lot of autonomy in designing their curriculum, fine, with respect to admission process, fees and other academic matters. They get a lot of power, and also they have the authority to design the courses and award degrees. Now they can do all these particular things. Now basically how you can get that deemed university status, for that there are the guidelines. And now what has happened, UGC has issued the new guidelines that how an institution get the deemed university status, fine. So this is something that they have come out with. So basically now this university UGC regulation 2023 has come. UGC regulation 2023 has come, and it will replace the UGC regulation of 2019. And it has been said that now it has been made more objective, a kind of an objective criteria has been brought for getting the deemed university status. Okay, so basically what has happened, so in 2019 guideline, what was the condition? To get a deemed university status, an education institution should be in existence for not less than 20 years. So at least 20 years of existence should be there, and then they can apply for the deemed university setup. But now they have replaced that particular thing with the objective guideline. Number one, NAAC grading should be there. That should be A grade. I will explain it. Then NIRF, there should be that university or that institution, number one, should be having NAAC grading of A. In NIRF should be into the top 50 rank, and in NBA, fine, basically 2/3 of their eligible programs should be accredited by NBA. Now what it is, I will explain you, don't worry for that particular thing. So basically guys, number one, we have this NAAC. NAAC stands for National Assessment Accreditation Council. National Assessment Accreditation Council. What it is the organization within the government, this is the organization of the government which ranks the universities, fine. For example, A plus university, A university, B grade university. So the universities are given the ranking. Ranking is given on the basis of their educational outcome, fine, and there are many parameters. So on the NAAC, we have seen that a university, or the institution that is being ranked should have at least A grade. So the grading is given by the NAAC. So NAAC gives the grading to the entire institution. Then after that we have NBA, that is the National Board of Accreditation. Now NBA, it also gives it also categorizes the higher institution, but what happens, it gives the ranking to technical programs only. Okay, for example, engineering program, management program. In the engineering, there is civil engineering, there is electronics, there is IT. Okay, so NBA accredits programs, NBA accredits program, NAAC accredits institution. In institution, there can be multiple programs that are there. So program will be accredited by NBA, institution as a whole will be accredited by the NAC. Okay, so basically the institution, it's a 2/3, that is 66% of the courses that they are running should have the NBA accreditation. Okay, so 2/3 of their programs should have the NBA accreditation, and by on NAC they should have A grade. And then we have the NIRF also, that was also discussed, that top 50 rank in NIRF. NIRF stands for National Institution Ranking Framework. National Institution Ranking Framework. So NIRF is a ranking released by Ministry of Education, where the higher educational institutions are ranked on the 5 parameters. Okay, so last year's NIRF ranking of 2022 that was there. Okay, we find that that in that NIRF there were 11 categories that were given. That is overall category, dental colleges are ranked separately, engineering colleges are ranked separately, management colleges are ranked separately. Okay, so on these parameters, the institution can claim deemed university status. Again we will say, What? Number one, they need to be NAC grading of A grade. NIRF ranking needs to be in top 50. NBA, in case of NBA, two-thirds of the programs should be accredited under NBA. And also there needs to be multidisciplinarity. There also needs to be multidisciplinarity. It means that one higher educational institution, college, offering multiple courses. Fine. It cannot be the case that you are just offering technical courses, only the BTech. Fine. Multiple courses need to be, multidisciplinarity also needs to be there. That is all, guys, about it. After that, I will move to the next article. Sir, please tell me that UPSC CDS के लिए भी helpful है. Guys, understand this thing that you are reading current affair wherever the exam. Now see, it is not something like that. The current affair, different newspaper will be published for the different exam. One newspaper is published. From that you need to extract the information for the different exams, be it the any exam. Now some exams are there, particularly the bank exam type kind of examinations where more factual news are asked. Apart from that, fine. The other newspaper, for example, UPSC examinations, state PCS examinations, fine. We have to see all these particular kind of an information, okay. And even when we talk about the CDS examination, so CDS exam is very much aligned with the UPSC, even conducted by it, okay. So yes, will be important. Now moving to the next article. Okay, a critical juncture in Manipur. Now this particular article, guys, will see with respect to the issues related, GS paper number 2, issues related to polity, as well as GS paper number 3, internal security also. We'll see this particular article. Let's see what this particular article is actually first of all talking about. Now before going on in this particular, now guys, this article starts from the Manipur ongoing crisis. But before going in this particular article, let's take some of the basic background information that is important. Okay, so basically, guys, what has happened when we talk about Manipur? When we talk about Manipur, so Manipur is a state which is having hills on all of its sides. Manipur is a state which is bounded by hills on all the sides. Okay, and in between there is the Imphal Valley. There is the Imphal Valley in between, and on all the sides there are the hills. Now, when we talk about the majority of the area of the Manipur, it is dominated by the hills that surround the state, and in between there is the Imphal Valley. Now, when we talk about, guys, the Manipur, people in the Manipur, many of them have the scheduled tribe status, and the major communities of Manipur that we have are the Chin, Kukis, Chin. There are the Chin community that lives there, Kuki community lives there, Zomi community lives there, Zomi, Chin, Kuki, Zomi. There are Metis. Metis. Okay, so basically when we talk about the Chin, Kuki, Zomis, they are the tribes. They are the tribes. Fine. Chin, Kuki, they have also been given the ST, scheduled tribe status. When we talk about the Metis, Metis are not given the scheduled tribe status as of now. Basically, what has happened, Metis, they are not given the scheduled tribe status, and Metis are the ones which are politically dominant. So out of the 60 MLAs, 40 MLAs are of the Metis community. They are politically dominant. In terms of the numbers also they are dominant. Economically they are dominant. Okay, Metis community. But they have demanded for a long period of time that they should be given the ST status. And what has happened recently, the Manipur High Court also referred that yes, ST status should be given to the Metis. Now, because of this particular thing, Chin, Kuki, Zomi tribes, they have the problem with the ST status that is being given to the Metis. Okay, and because of that particular thing, the tribes came in a solidarity march last month, and then there was a clash that happened between the Metis and the other tribal group. So other tribal groups are not comfortable with the idea that the Metis are being given the ST status. Okay, they say that already Metis, they enjoy many benefits, and even under the reservation they enjoy reservations. Some of the Metis are coming under EWS category, some of them even have come under the OBC category. So why you are giving them ST status? Moreover, guys, even the Supreme Court came out and said that the Manipur High Court did not had any authority to refer that whether a community is to be given the ST status or not. There is a judgment of Supreme Court already in this particular regard. So that is something that is happening. Now guys, basically the violence is going on in Manipur where Metis want that ST status should be given to them, but other tribals don't want that the ST status should be given to the Metis. This particular issue crisis is going on for a very long period of time and more than 70 people have already died in this particular conflict. Now guys, recently what had happened, the MLAs from the Kuki community, they have demanded a separate administration, a separate administration, a kind of a separate state, for example. Okay, when we talk about guys, when we talk about the basically they want a separate kind of a administration, they want a kind of a separate maybe a separate state. Okay, and it has been said that the state of Manipur had miserably failed to protect the Chin, Kuki, Zomi tribals. Now, if we talk about the Manipur state, in Legislative Assembly of Manipur, large majority of MLAs belong to the Metis, and other MLAs belonging to other tribes such as the Chin, Kuki, Zomi. It is being felt by them that they are being marginalized, they are deliberately being ignored, they are being discriminated. So they want a separate setup. This kind of demand has been made. But guys, when we talk about the other Metis, now you see this thing, Chin, Kuki, Zomi are on one side, Metis are on other side. Now, as the Chin, Kuki, Zomi are making the separate demand, separate states demand or separate administrations demand, the Metis will say that no, that should not happen. So Metis, now they are talking about the state's territorial integrity. They said that the Manipur state should not be divided. There cannot be a separate administrative status. There cannot be any different kind of autonomy that can be given to the Chin, Kuki, Zomi people. So this is a new difference that has emerged here. Now guys, when we talk about the constitutional provision that whether a state can be divided, can be bifurcated, what are the provisions that we have? So in this particular capacity, we have the article number 3 of the Indian Constitution. Article 3 have addressed the aspects of the formation of new states, okay, changes or modifications to the existing state boundaries and all such kind of things. And as per article number 3, union government has the sole authority that they, if want, can demand, then create the separate state. In this capacity, they can ask the they can ask that what a state thinks, but the union government is not bound by the state government's recommendation. At the end of the day, unilaterally, the union government, whenever it wants, it can divide a state, it can bifurcate a state, anything can be done. Basically guys, now the question comes here is that how will this particular demand for a separate administration, fine, constitute a critical juncture? Now understand this thing, this demand for a separate state, it is a critical juncture, because if this particular, see, if you accept this particular demand, Chin, Kuki, Zomi, they will think that their demands have been meted out. But if that is not happening, then Metis will become emboldened. Now this has become a critical thing, and how that particular matter is to be taken up. Now guys, understand this particular thing, that as this particular matter is going on, and we know that article 3 talks about that only union has the power in this particular direction. Now understand this thing, this particular matter will open up and many other kind of issues will be aligned with this, and other ideological differences now will be taken up, other differences between the Metis and the Chin, Kuki, Zomis, historical divisions, many such kind of a thing happen. This matter will also become politicized, and at the end of the day, who will decide? Only the union government. It has been said that even the Constituent Assembly debates, when they were going on, it was said that it was argued that to place power and authority in the center to effect a change in the state without requiring the consent of the state would amount to the serious prejudice. Okay, you are giving all the power to create a separate state only to the union. You are not making the union bound by the consent of that state. That will be prejudicial, but that actually thing happened. And now at the end of the day, center will only be able to decide. Whatever the state is protesting, let them protest. Whatever the people are saying, let them say. Only the union will decide. Many number of times, genuine aspirations, genuine concerns of the people might not be taken care of. Why? Because the state's consent is not bound on the union government as per article number 3. So this is all what this particular article is talking about. Now guys, we'll move to the next article. International trade has a carbon problem. International trade has a carbon problem. Let's take this particular article. Okay, this particular article will see with respect to GS paper number 2, international relations, India EU international relations, and within the India EU international relation, the economic aspect we are going to see. Secondly, guys, this particular article will also be important for GS paper number 3, Indian economy, and the exports happens to be a very important pillar of Indian economy. Now, let's take this particular article as what it is talking about. So basically, first of all, before going in this particular article, let's take some of the basic background information that is important for the examination. So this article, guys, is actually talking about the CABM, that is Carbon Adjustment Border Mechanism. Sorry, CBAM, Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. This article is talking about the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. Now, what is this mechanism? Basically, guys, European Union is moving aggressively towards the carbon neutrality. They want to become carbon neutral. And in this particular direction, what has happened? European Union within their region, European Union countries, they have issued the emission norms. They have issued the emission norms. For example, within the European Union, in any country of the European Union, let's say there is a steel manufacturer. There is a steel manufacturer. They have imposed the condition on the steel manufacturer that if your emission will go above a particular level, then you need to pay the penalty. You need to pay a carbon tax. Fine, if your emissions will go above a particular level. So this is something that is happening. Now, guys, basically steel manufacturer, now what they need to do, they have two options. Option number one, keep on making the steel through the polluting technologies and keep on paying the fines. Option 1. Option number 2, they can bring the better technologies. They can bring the new technologies. Okay. Now, if they will bring the new technologies, obviously what will happen? Their cost of production will increase. Anyhow, in both the matter, the cost of production is going to increase because see, the steel manufacturer, if it is he is paying the taxes or if he is bringing the new technology, will not absorb the cost in his or her own pocket. That cost will be added to the product and that product will be sold to the market or to the public at higher prices. That is something that is going on. Okay, very good. Now, guys, as the European Union made steel will become expensive. It will become expensive. So basically what has happened, the people or the companies in the European Union, they have started to import the steel from the other countries. They have started to import the steel from the other countries, China, India. Their steel will always be affordable. Why? Because in those countries such carbon tax, high carbon norms are not there. So this is something that was happening. Now European Union said that in this particular way, what is happening? The polluting industries are being shifted to other place. We will not make steel in European Union. We will make steel outside and will bring that particular steel in European Union. So at the end of the day, emissions as a whole have not been reduced. They have just been shifted from one country to another country. Now, in order to do away with this particular thing, this carbon border adjustment mechanism has come. This carbon border adjustment mechanism has come. Now, what it is being said? It is being said that if any importer in the European Union is importing there are 6 to 7 items that are there, which includes the steel, cement, aluminium, all these kind of things. So if any importer is importing, for example, steel in European Union from a country where it has been created by emitting lot of carbon emissions, then there will be the additional duty. There will be the additional duty, additional tax that will be imposed. Okay. This is to balance what was happening earlier. Okay. So from the polluting countries, if you are importing the steel which has been made by emitting a lot of carbon, then there is this tax that will be imposed. Now, by this carbon border adjustment mechanism, the countries such as India, they have a very big problem. Why? Because when we talk about India, in India, there are not such high emission norms that are there, and we were supporting a lot of steel to European Union, and now high taxes will be imposed on the Indian steel. So Indian steel will become uncompetitive. So therefore, our exports will decline. Our exports will decline. We don't want that this carbon border adjustment mechanism should be adopted. Now, this carbon border adjustment mechanism, European Union brought in COP27 in Egypt, and it is to be fully implemented by 2026. Till then, India is negotiating with the European Union that you give us some kind of a grace, you give us some kind of an exemption or any such kind of a thing. Okay, but nothing has happened till now. So this is the entire background that you should have before going in this particular article. So without this particular background, the article will not make a lot of sense. So I hope that background is clear, and now let's discuss one by one what are the issues contained in this particular article. So basically, European Union's carbon border adjustment mechanism has frightened India. I have already discussed this particular thing you that why India has been frightened. Now India feels that India's exports to the European Union will be impacted. Yes, we have seen that also. So basically guys, when we talk about India's exports, India is exported aluminium, iron, steel, fine, and 1.8% of its total exports are actually going to the European Union, which might not be a very big number, but still in terms of absolute quantity it becomes a very big number. Okay, now India is calling that this is a protectionist and a discriminatory policy. You are just discriminating against the developing and developed countries, fine. So this is a discriminatory policy, and India had said that we will challenge it in WTO, that is the World Trade Organization. In WTO we will challenge it. Now the article says this particular thing, that whether this particular thing can be sustained in the WTO or not. Now WTO law very clearly provides this particular thing, that there could not be discrimination, that there could not be any discrimination, fine. Basically it has been provided that the countries have to give equal treatment to like products irrespective of their country of origin. Now understand this thing. Suppose now steel steel is a product. All steel is to be treated differently irrespective of the country from where in which that particular steel is being originated. Irrespective of the country in which that steel is being originated, the steel is to be treated in a similar capacity. Okay, so the CABM design is origin neutral, fine. You cannot discriminate between a steel of US and a steel of India. That is the argument that India has given. Moreover, now the question come that under the WTO, can there be the debate that we can discriminate on the basis of the process and production methods? European Union say that we are discriminating on the basis of the process and production method, because in a developing country the process is more polluting, the method is more polluting. So can that be a ground? Fine. Traditionally the WTO has said no, that even if the process or production method is different, that cannot be a ground. So now the India will challenge this matter in WTO, and we need to see what WTO will give the final verdict. Okay, what will be the final verdict? Now when we talk about the production methods and the difference in the approaches, there can be number one, you can produce steel in the less carbon intensive electric arc furnace or in the blast furnace. This could be the different methods of producing the steel. Okay, so in India the blast furnace method is used, which is more polluting. Can this be a ground to discriminate? We need to see what WTO will say in this particular direction. So till now guys, this is all about this particular thing, and we will take it up when WTO will give the final ruling. Then we have this next article, MEA requests China to facilitate presence of Indian journalists. Now guys, there is nothing much to read in this particular article. What is happening? India and China, both of them, India and China, what has happened? Both of them are suspending the visas of the journalist. Okay, for example, the Chinese journalist, uh, the Indian journalists who are in the China has suspended their visas, and there is just one Indian journalist in China. Same way, the Chinese journalists who are there in India is not giving them visas and suspending their visas. So basically it is being said that in the days to come, there will be the no Indian journalist in China and no Chinese journalist in India. India says that the China is not renewing the visa. China is saying that India is not renewing the visa. This is something going on, and Ministry of External Affairs have requested China to facilitate the presence of Indian journalists to renew their visas, not to suspend their visas. This is something that is going on. Okay, so guys, as we talk about the relations between the two countries, there is irritant between the two countries that are also there, which also needed to be seen. And in the India-China relations, we have many irritants. Boundary talk is an irritant. Ideological division is an irritant. Okay, China's relation with the Pakistan is an irritant. And again here, this also has become a new irritant. Now, the question will not be coming just on this thing, but this point would be written up. Then, The next article again, guys, much to see is not there in this. OTT players seek satellite bandwidth for better streaming. Now, OTT stands for the over-the-top services. Now, over-the-top streaming platforms, we have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar. Fine, these are the OTT platforms. Right now, they are available through the internet streaming, but they also need the satellite bandwidth, so that in the real time they can broadcast their programs as other broadcasters are doing. They want that we need to reach more and more people who might not be there on the traditional internet. So we want to reach them through the satellite bandwidth broadcast. So this is a demand that they have just made. As of now, government has not responded. As of now, no policy has come. Just they have raised this particular demand. So you are not required to go too much in detail as of now in this particular topic. Sir, what is the difference between permanent countries, special invitees, observation countries, and what is necessary to invite countries like this? Kumar Rao, in what context you are asking? Please tell me your question. Okay, different, permanent. Now, because see, different organizations, in the context of that, the things can be little bit different. Okay, special invitees, observation countries. Who are the special invitees? Who are not the part of any organization? They are just being invited for a particular discussion or for a particular cause. What are the observation countries? See, there are certain organizations which are deciding on certain matters, okay, which are taking up certain matters, but that might have an impact on some other countries also. So they come and they just observe. Okay, they will not vote. They cannot move a resolution. Okay. So this is about it. And now moving to the main practice question. India needs to harness the question for today. India needs to harness the benefit of AI while avoiding adverse effects. Comment. Fine. This will be a 10 marker question. This will be a 10 marker question for GS paper number 3. Okay, so that is all, guys, about it. And now we come to an end to this session. Now we'll be meeting on Monday. Till then, please take care of yourselves, guys. Thank you so much.